Ladies and gentlemen, question 2. So remember, we are addressing questions pertaining to spouses of nurses that are coming to the US with an EB3 visa. Let me be very clear, because H1B has other rules about spouses. Okay, we are talking about EB3 visa. When you get here, you get a green card, you with your spouse. You're a nurse, you're either a man or woman, and you're a nurse and you've landed here, or you are coming. And these are the questions some of you are asking, and that's what we are trying to address today. If you have not listened to the first question about credentialing, please click on this video on the screen right now. Do you see it? I hope you do. All right, let's go to question number 2. Which jobs can they pursue once they land that are easily available and pay reasonably? Good question. So let me just add something. Somebody was asking me, do the agencies help your spouses in getting jobs, doing English exams and stuff like that? Number one, the quick answer is no. You are the price. You are the goods. They are focusing on you. Once you get here and you start earning money for them, game over. Sasa wewe ujipange with your family. Okay? Yes, they are focusing on you. So you get yourself organized and accordingly, okay? So let's address this question. Which jobs? Okay. So there are jobs, because the first thing you get here as a spouse, remember you are a human being by yourself. Although you are following your husband or your wife, you are a human being, a full package with the dreams and goals, the expectations from back home, because you're in the US, the black tax. Yeah. Most of the times they don't care that it's your husband who has actually gotten a job. Sooner or later, they're going to start asking for something you may even need to support. So the question you find yourself in is survival. How am I going to start earning quickly without going back to school for years? So many spouses panic because they think, I have to go back to school to do nursing. But you'll be surprised, there are so many other jobs that you can do. But listen to this before we get there, because I was asking other nurses who are here what advice they can give. You see, I'm giving you the best. I've asked about this information, so I'm not just telling you things randomly from my head. I've asked around. So what came out most was, be patient and don't be choosy. Okay? Because most people, when they get here, they waste months and months waiting for the ideal job. They are applying, sending applications, thousands of applications because of an ideal job. My advice personally as Josh, get started. Earn your first paycheck. Use the momentum to move up. In future videos, if you guys want, you'll tell me if you want, I'll break down how to transition maybe from survival jobs into career paths that fit your education and passions. But for now, we want you to get something to start earning, depending with your situation. Some may decide to hold off, as we'll address question number 3. So let's get after this one. Job number 1, customer service and call centers. This is what my wife started with. Customer service and call centers. Okay, so you can get yourself in banks, insurance companies, utilities. So these are pretty flexible, entry level. They pay about $16 to $22 from the source I found. Yeah, so that is one. Number 2, we have administrative / clerical jobs. This could be like in the hospitals, in schools, in corporate offices. They may not really be something that you studied in high school, in university, but these are easily available. So long as you have a green card, you have a permit to work, these are jobs that you can get. So other common ones are in retail and sales. Let's talk about Walmart, Target, Costco. So these are like the biggest supermarkets here in the US. Okay, so their pay is about $14 to $20 an hour, uh, with some benefits and discounts here and there. So that's another job that you can get. Then we have a job in the hospital support roles. These are non-clinical. Okay, you can go to the hospital, do patient registration, medical records, billing, things like those. Okay, so these ones, they may not really need you to have had your degree, to show your degree, um, no, not really. So they are pretty easy to get into. So they pay about $18 to $25. Okay, another one is driving or delivery. Let's talk about Uber, let's talk about Lyft, let's talk about Amazon Flex, let's talk about DoorDash. They are pretty flexible jobs, especially if you have kids that you have to take to school, go pick them up. You want to pick something that's a little bit more flexible for you, because sometimes in nursing, if she goes to school, if he or she goes to the hospital, those 12 hours need to be accounted for. So they may not be available to leave work and do other things. So you need at least one parent to be a little bit flexible, so there we are. And then we have warehouse and logistics. These are places like FedEx, Amazon, or UPS. Okay, so they pay about from $17 to $24, with the growth potential. All right. And I saw somewhere we have childcare and teaching aids, places like in daycares, in schools, after school programs. We have after school programs whereby if the school ends at 3 p.m. and the parents are not able to come pick up their children at that time, maybe they are working up until 5-6 p.m., there are programs the children are put between 3 to 6 p.m. and so they need people during that time to engage the students in whatever. Could be playing, just could be watching over them, or some sort of programs, doing homeworks. They need people for that. And so these jobs, they are scattered, I think, in the whole of US. So somebody was asking me which state can a spouse get a job easily. I think every state has opportunities. I've only been in Texas. That's where I live. That's where I stay. I haven't moved elsewhere. So, but my thinking is this could be everywhere. Okay. All right. So those are the jobs that you can get. There was a question about online jobs. We're gonna address that as well. So the thing is this: don't be choosy. Be patient. Get here. See the situation, and your first job is not your last job. Just start with what pays bills. Get there to even start understanding the American culture at work, the corporate world, how people converse, the jokes they break, and the language, the accent, So with the basic, English reliability and willingness to learn, and you're able to show up, you'll get it. So think these as a stepping stone. Okay. All right, we are going to the next question. I hope you liked this one. The next question would be, click next.